As we know, the doctor's office is rarely anyone's favorite place, but it can be especially hard for doctors themselves managing the workload. It's estimated there are more than 250,000 deaths every single year in the U.S. due to medical error. That is according to a study published in 2016.
In today's Technically Speaking report, Gio Insignares walks us through some of the other issues facing healthcare providers and how one local company is tackling those problems. He's here in the studio now.
Well, JC, Eric, an overload of information, not enough time. Those are two things doctors have to handle. Not to mention, there's also burnout and the possibility of a lawsuit. The American Medical Association says nearly 1/3 of U.S. physicians in 2022 reported they previously had been sued. That number goes up to nearly half for physicians 55 and older. But the solution to these problems could be a click away. Stephen Charlap, a doctor and entrepreneur, is motivated in part by tragedy.
It all basically started when my older brother, a practicing cardiologist, was diagnosed with 2 primary cancers a week apart. Turned out he had a genetic mutation that was responsible for his cancers, and he lost his life within the year. It struck me hard, 1, because I loved my brother so much, but 2, because I didn't understand why his doctors, didn't catch his cancer early, given that we have a very extensive family history of early cancers and deaths.
That loss pushed Charlap to study how things could be changed to avoid situations like what happened to his brother. Years of research and interviews with doctors across the country led Charlap to the takeaway that doctors have significant hurdles, which have only become increasingly worse in recent years.
I realized that doctors are under so many pressures these days that they really curtail how much time they have to spend with patients. And also because medical knowledge is expanding exponentially, it's almost impossible to stay up to date with the most rudimentary of information, forget about the whole body of information.
In order to help fix what he calls a broken system, Charlap founded SOAP Health. SOAP, which stands for Subjective Objective Assessment Plan, is a commonly used type of medical note to document a patient's visit.
What we built, we call it the ideal medical assistant. It was built to help doctors be better versions of themselves, or the best version of themselves.
This ideal medical assistant is made up of 3 components. The first is called the Perfect Medical Interviewer, a patented and clinically validated conversational AI that interviews patients.
Let's get to know each other.
It's available 24/7 and is presented as a person, trained with multiple body gestures and realistic capabilities.
We have 45 body gestures, including folding and unfolding of the leg, standing up and stretching, pointing at you, pointing at herself. Even if you curse at her, she'll go, no, no, no. That's no way to speak to another person.
The second component is RiskView, described as the world's most comprehensive risk and symptom assessment. It collects a patient's data, including things like family history, analyzes it, then identifies a list of possible diagnoses based on the risks and symptoms collected. And the third component is called the Smart SOAP Note, a specially organized version of the traditional SOAP Note, integrated with all the patient's information.
But what it does do, it allows a patient for the first time, and I mean for the first time, to very simply create a comprehensive personal record for themselves that they can use for any doctor.
It's technology aiming to elevate the medical practice to another level. And while the company was created in the shadow of loss, the love and memory of family pushes Charlap to try and make the product better every day.
My brother was a great person. He was a doctor. He really cared about his patients. He was a great husband, father, grandfather, and his memory deserves to be honored.
Right now, SOAP has multiple grants in order to continue its work, including the National Cancer Institute and the University of Miami to use in cardiology. It's also in discussions with other healthcare systems to use the tech, as well as piloting the software with some smaller medical practices across the U.S. In the studio, I'm Gio Insignares, Local 10 News.